Today I'm at the Festool repair shop to learn all about how they service and warranty tools that get sent in for fixing. It all starts right here, where tools from all over Germany have come in overnight through UPS. They'll bring them here to this station where they can unbox the tool, and then they've got these 3 bins here to sort the garbage. They can send that off to recycling. So here's one, for example, that's come in for some service, and it comes in with this sheet right here that tells the people what's wrong with it or what they would like fixed. And from there, it comes down to this station where they take this paper, and Francie will input all the information into the computer and create a little service card that will then follow the tool through the service process until it gets shipped back out to the customer, where she hands it off, and then the tool comes over here to one of the workstations. Now this one here is Emre, and now he gets to fix this one and then send it back out to the customer. So the first thing he'll do is open it up and take all the pieces out, and then take those parts over to this enclosed cleaning unit, where he can clean the tool and spray off all the dirt and dust before he gets to taking the tool apart. Now this one is obviously a sander, so after he gets that top taken off, he has to take it back to the cleaning unit and spray it out again to get rid of all the dust on the inside. And then he can get back to work taking the rest of the tool apart to try and investigate and find out what's wrong with the tool. And man, was this guy quick at getting this tool all torn apart. The first thing he did was use this device right here to check the motor. And he found that the motor was worn out and it was time to be replaced. While he was at it, he also tore it further apart so he could replace the bearing, so that when he sent it back to the customer, it would operate like brand new. He then brought the motor assembly over to this press so he could press the motor out of the housing, and used the same press to install the new bottom bearing. Then he came over to their very well-supplied parts area and grabbed a new motor, and then used that press again to press the whole motor assembly back together. So this sander that he's working on right here is about 15 years old, and so it's one of the older ones obviously, and doesn't have some of the modern digital readouts and things like that. But they do have a scanner right here that they actually, with the newer tools, they'll scan the tool and it will give them a complete history of the tool, how long it's been used, the run hours, how many times the trigger's been pressed and things like that. And then they can see maybe where the problem came from. In addition to that, they can send that information back to the R&D department, and the R&D department then can decide if they want to make improvements based on certain failures and things like that. But now back to the tool. He brought it back over to his workstation, started putting the tool all back together, slid the motor back into where it goes, and then finished putting all the rest of the screws and pieces and electrical components all back together until the sander was back to looking like a sander again. And then he plugged it in and turned it on to make sure the motor functioned right, and tested the variable speed control to make sure it operated right. Then he brought it over to a testing unit and plugged it in and ran it through another series of tests to make sure that it met up to their standards. And then he put this sticker on it to indicate that it had passed all the tests. And then he quickly took the dust collector to the cisterner to get it all nice and cleaned out before he filled out the paperwork, labeled the tool, and stuck it back in the cisterner. And then he's got it all done. It's perfect and ready to go. And then it will come over here to the shipping station where they have all the boxes for the different size cisterners. They can pack it up inside the box, and then it will get its label and get sent back to the customer.